Hi, I'm Cider Spider, and I'm on a journey to get every available achievement in Final Fantasy XIV. This monumental grind takes countless hours of gameplay over the span of several years, and I'm taking it on 1 week at a time. So, let's get started. Welcome to Yulmore, idiots. It's time for a grind we have not touched in a long time. Some of you might recall we started this grind last year. It is a very time-consuming grind, but it's also the type of thing that gets a lot easier as time goes on. The older the content gets, the easier it is to complete it. We are, of course, talking about Resplendent Tools from Shadowbringers. And because they're from Shadowbringers, they're now 3 expansions old, which means it's incredibly easy to complete them. Now, you might think that anything from 3 expansions ago would be easy, but no. These are a form of crafting relic, which were never really good tools. They were just kind of for show. They were something nice that you could make just to show off how good you were at crafting. And when they were added to the game, they were incredibly difficult crafts. Incredibly difficult. To the point that even now, if you don't understand the way they work, they could still be kind of tough. But because modern gear and abilities are now so powerful, we can basically brute force them by automating them with macros. And so what once was a prestigious grind that showed great skill and great luck is now so simplistic that you could do it by executing a pre-written script. We're going to be working on the armorer one here. Let's see, hopefully my armorer has good gear. It kind of doesn't. I don't know if my eye level is going to matter that much. Let's try and find out. So, basically what we're going to do is swap on over to Master Recipes 8, where we'll find these 3 components. The Resplendent Armorer's components A, B, and C. Basically, the way this is going to work is I'm going to... Shut up, La Brea. Sorry, I forgot to turn off my Twitch alerts. Basically, how this is going to work is I'm going to open up the user macros tab. I've already made these myself. There's probably better ones out there on the internet. These are just the ones that I slapped together based off of my own observations. So we've got Resplendent 1 here, which is just a simple execution of all the most valuable skills, and then part 2 is just a finisher, because you can only have 15 steps in a macro, and these crafts still take more than 15 steps as far as I'm aware. I don't know if you could do them in under 15 steps or not, but I certainly can't. So let's just press our button. Oops, I forgot my crafting food. Well, maybe it'll still work out. Or maybe it won't, I don't know. This is only the step 1, so it's got slightly lower requirements with only 14,000 quality. So, but yeah, the thing with these expert crafts is that there's a lot more condition options than there are on regular crafts, and so basically they had a ridiculously high requirement to clear the crafts, but you could take advantage of all these different modifiers on the conditions tab, and if you were really good at crafting, you would be able to clear them even despite the ultra high numbers. But again, I cannot stress enough how difficult this actually was in Shadowbringers compared to what you're seeing here, which is the modern version of the grind. I'm doing this without max gear, and I'm not even under the effects of the crafting food at the moment. So as you can see, my macro is basically... Oh, that's not good. Hold on, we ran out of crafting points. Oh no. Oh, I see. My crafting food actually adds more crafting points. That's where we went wrong. Can I salvage this? If we're lucky, we might still get this. Let's go with a blessing. Oh, we're fine. Oh yeah, no, we're chilling. Okay, it wasn't pretty, but yeah, normally it's a little bit cleaner than that. Let me show you what that's supposed to look like now. All right, macro 1. And so yeah, basically the meta here is to try to take advantage of as many buffs and debuffs as you can, take advantage of the condition as much as possible, and then you use actions that don't reduce the durability as much as possible so that you can stretch the limited durability really, really far. But again, since this was 2 expansions ago, it is now much easier to just brute force it without worrying about what your condition is, which would not have been possible when this was current. There we go. So now we've synthesized 2 of these. We actually need to craft 30 times for each tier. So 30 tier A's, B's, and C's. And once that's done, we can trade them in for our Resplendent tool, and then we will be able to flex and show off. But more importantly, we will get this 10-point achievement, and there is of course one of these for every single crafting job. I had intended to finish them a long time ago, but I didn't, and so we are going to clean them all up now. So let's just keep hammering away at that macro. Woohoo! Yeah. This actually is a pretty relaxing grind when it comes right down to it, because for the most part, I just click on the game every like 30 seconds or so to, activate the next macro. But otherwise, I could just watch videos, I could watch TV, I could scroll things. Like, I don't really need to do anything. So I feel like I'm accomplishing something even though I'm putting in the absolute bare minimum of effort. It's kind of nice. And I hope you guys like the look of this, because I've got a lot of crafting relics to make, and this is basically the process for all of them. In fact, the requirements for completion of the Resplendent Tools is very similar to the completion of the Endwalker crafting relics, and so these same macros should actually work on those too. But yeah, crafting relics are one of those things that not a lot of people really care about, because there aren't that many crafters in the game. You know, everybody knows crafting exists, but I feel like only the more like hardcore people really engage with crafting. Maybe I'm wrong on that. What do you guys think? Let me know. Do you are there any casual players out there that also do crafting? Or I guess a better question is just to anybody watching, do you train crafting? Do you practice crafting? And would you consider yourself casual or hardcore about it? Do you have all your jobs maxed, or do you just like stick to a couple of them? Me personally, I'm obviously an omni crafter. I've got every job at 100, so I can just do anything, but I wouldn't really call myself a hardcore crafter. It's rare that I ever have like best in slot crafting gear. I'm usually like 1 or 2 tiers behind on actual crafting gear. It's just that we've reached a point where there's so many crafting abilities that while the gear does matter, you can kind of overcome low eye level with brute force nowadays. And so up until we get Cosmic Exploration, which is going to be a crafting and gathering focused community activity, I don't think I'm going to worry about maxing my crafting gear, but I am looking forward to that though, and that is going to be probably a good incentive to actually do so. So we can expect that with Cosmic Exploration as well. There's probably going to be a lot more things like this, what I'm doing right now, expert crafts, because Cosmic Exploration is basically derivative of Ishgard Restoration, which was, as far as I'm aware, where expert crafts got introduced, and it relied heavily on them. So I think we can expect to see a lot more stuff like this by the end of the Dawntrail expansion. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. Anyways, on a slightly unrelated note, I've been working on this grind for what feels like 3 weeks now. Maybe it has been. I don't even remember when the last achievement video was posted. I've been doing a very bad job of staying consistent on those. I used to get one out every week, and now that we started season 2, it's just been a mess. 2025 was off to not a bad start for me, but just a very, very turbulent start. Just a lot of things going on all at once and a lot of distractions. And so I've lost a lot of my consistency, but I'm working on getting that back right now. And hopefully we can get this video out on Friday again, and every video out on Friday the way that we used to. I'm actually kind of racing the clock right now. It's after midnight, and I'm hoping that I can get this done as soon as possible so that I can put the video together as soon as possible. I spent the whole week trying to clear M4S. Finally started working on that. I probably should have made that into the video, but yeah, I haven't got the clear as of now. The prog has been nothing short of disastrous, even though I've been recruiting chads from my stream chat, so we've got several enrage pulls, but it's not happening. I say enrage pulls. We got to like the last true mechanic, because M4S is the type of fight you don't really enrage on. But anybody that doesn't raid probably has no idea what I'm talking about. Point is, I've been raiding a lot lately, and that has left me less time available to work on this, which I actually intended to finish last week. And last week, I finally caught up on all the extreme trials that I've been missing out on, so I'll insert a montage right here of the achievements that I got doing that. Check this out.
So I figured I'd do what I can to minimize the hassle by putting in an order for some top-notch maintenance supplies. Can I count on you, Charity? Yeah.
You realize I'm a cook, right? I'm a chef. Whatever. And there's satisfaction guaranteed. Nidawikwi 4. 5 points. Your contributions thus far have kept the railing rolling, but it seems Nidawikwi needs to speak with you. And there's satisfaction guaranteed. Nidawikwi 5. And there is Valakar Mastered. 10 points. That wasn't bad at all. 40 eye levels over original. That wasn't bad at all. Good, just kill him, please. Please don't make me do any more mechanics. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just kill him. Just murder him. Half circuit. Yeah, let's not do that. There's Everkept, 10 points. Oh my gosh. Oh. The least deserved clear ever. Holy crap. I don't think I learned anything. But he's dead. Help us, Celine. I should have rested DPS. I didn't realize it was Enrage next. Oh my god. And there's Long Lived the Queen. 10 points. Holy crap. Oh, what a nightmare. Wow, wasn't that awesome? I can't believe it took me this long to actually start doing the Dawntrail extremes. They were kind of pity clears by this point. Most of these fights have been out for a while, so like they're long since solved, and gear levels have long since outpaced them as well, so they weren't particularly difficult for that reason. I didn't do them in eye level or anything like that, but yeah, it was pretty fun just cleaning those up, seeing what I've been missing out on those trials all this time, because I really have avoided extremes this expansion. I've really been avoiding raiding a lot this expansion, which is why I've been doing it so much lately, because I'm trying to actually get caught back up on stuff. I want to finish the Savage tier before the next patch comes out, and even though I've got about a month at this point, I feel like I'm so far behind, but yeah, I'm just about to clear M4S. That's going to happen within the next week, and then I'll be able to move on with my life and get back to more boring stuff like this. So yeah, my greatest hope is that I can rebuild the consistency that I had last year, get back to having achievement videos out consistently on Friday, mentor videos on Monday, and then possibly a third video on Wednesday as well. It's a lot, but, well, it's my job. And the children aren't gonna labor themselves. Somebody's gotta keep them in line. I mean, what? So yeah, that said, I could pretty much keep rambling on indefinitely. That's a talent of mine, talking in circles endlessly about nothing. Pretty good at that. I could carry on and carry on and carry on, but that probably wouldn't be a very good use of airtime. So I'm gonna chug away at these. I'll get back to you guys when I get to the second tier of material. Shouldn't take long though. I don't know, gamers. It's not looking good. It is 1:12 a.m. and it appears the server is getting DDoSed again. Why? I have no idea. Let's see. Does it still work? The last time I tried the macro, it lagged out and broke, and I failed the craft. No, it doesn't work, see? There's not a stable enough connection, and so it's skipping steps or doubling things, or it breaks. Macros basically don't work when the server lags. No, this is gonna fail. Well, honestly, I got further than I thought I would. Quality is still clearable, but the progress is way far behind because everything broke. Let's just press the button and see what happens. Who cares? Oh, that's not good. Uh-oh. Oh, no. So yeah, that's what I got going on. We might even hard disconnect here. It's been grayed out for a while. For some reason that nobody knows, the North American data centers especially have been getting DDoSed, basically attacked so that they lag out and become unusable for usually around about 10 minutes. And this has been happening almost daily, but then they recover and everything goes back to normal. And it's probably gonna crash me all the way to desktop here because the game is so well coded that if it fails to connect to the lobby server, it will just close the game instead of attempting to connect a second time. Actually, I can't really talk because it did actually reconnect. Thank goodness. The server, of course, is congested, which is a lie. I really wish they would reword this because it's not true. The login queue is just a mandatory queue in order to stop the login servers from getting overwhelmed. So it can only log in up to 75 players at a time, and it does that roughly every minute. But when it says servers congested, there's a queue. Like, there's not actually a queue. You know, it's not like it's waiting for people to log out so you can get online. It's just that it's waiting for the next wave of logins to be allowed by the login server. I wish that they would find a way to reword that so that it wasn't misleading. Oh, but anyway, apparently I can't craft anything right now, or certainly I can't use any macros. We're gonna have to wait until... Wow, look at this. Yeah, that's like a good 3-4 second delay on loading info from the server, so... Yeah, that's not a good sign. We'll have to wait and see how long it takes for this to even itself out. I was almost done with step A. Actually, as I wander to Limsa here, it doesn't seem like there's an unusual amount of people missing. Maybe it's not a DDoS. It could just be my internet. The DDoS thing actually has been happening, though. You can even, like, see on the Lodestone page, the news feeds, and the official, like, accounts everywhere, like Square posting about servers recovering from DDoS. Like, it's well represented. But yeah, it's been happening frequently ever since pretty much the last patch of Endwalker. Oh, there we go again. This one, though, might be on my end. Which is weird because none of my other windows are disconnecting. losing connection to the game, but my internet's not out. So there's another thing that it could be, which is there's a bad node over on the West Coast that the web service routes through to get to this game, which is known to cause problems. And so if your connection to the server has to go through one of those nodes, you end up with problems like this. But yeah, there's me ranting about connectivity problems. Kind of hard not to. There's been so many lately. It's just frustrating, you know? I know there's not necessarily anything Square can do to stop people from DDoSing them, but I wish there was. Anyways, I gotta wait this out. All right, $1 million later, we did get step A completed, so let's go ahead and turn in our step A's. Yep. There we go. And we've exchanged those for material B. Seems like the connection is stabilized, so now we're gonna swap over to component B and start over from the beginning. 30 crafts to go. Woo. All right, we got our step B done. Let's go ahead and turn those in. Time for the final set of components. Let's get them done. Woohoo. Yeah. Everybody loves crafting, especially with macros. Huzzah. So yeah, we'll knock this out probably in another hour, then see what we get. Well, all right, we finished C step, or have we? Well, let's go and turn it in. Here you go, Limbeth. So we should have 60 of these, but in actuality we have 55. That's no good. I mean, some of them failed, which is bad. So we gotta go all the way back to step 1, because if we are missing 5 of our final stage materials, we are going to need to start from the very beginning in order to get them. So we're gonna need 3 of these. Woohoo. And then we just take it from the top. So yeah, we knock out a component A. This one's a little bit temperamental. My macro was made around the gear level on my other sets, whereas my armorer has kind of junk tools. My weapon and offhand are crap. And so if I get bad RNG on the conditions, then sometimes I don't get as much quality as I need. I could avoid that problem by manually crafting them, or otherwise updating my gear, or otherwise updating my macro, but I'm too lazy to do any of those things, so we are just going to eat the loss and recraft these 3 that we apparently failed on. I mean, 3 out of 30 isn't a horrible failure rate, it's only 10%. Now that we got material A traded for material B, and then we just do that same thing over again. Whack it with a hammer until it's done. Woohoo, yippee. But yeah, ironically, when you get really good at crafting, this is basically what it looks like. Usually, you try to automate as much as possible because it's just the most efficient way. Manually crafting, pressing all the buttons yourself, will actually be a bit faster because you don't have as much delay in between casts. But we're talking a difference of maybe a couple seconds per craft, and so when you can save 99% of the effort by reducing everything to a macro, it's not hard to figure out why people are willing to sacrifice a couple extra seconds time. But yeah, when you're doing synced crafts or on-level crafts, for expert crafting, that is like the one place where crafting gets remotely difficult. It's the one thing that usually you can't macro, at least not when it's current. All right, and there's our component C. And turn that in, and as you can see, now we've got 57. We still obviously need 3 more. Woohoo. All right, that's done. We got our final parts. Let's turn those in. 1570, that's not right. Yeah, well, it worked out anyways. So, now that we've got 60 Resplendent Armor's final materials, what we can do is go to the tool exchange, pass those over, and Limbeth will give us in return an achievement. There's Retooled Resplendent Hammer Fiend's Beetle. 10 points. So now we have this giant mallet. That's the fun thing about the Resplendent Tools, is they equip on your back when they're not drawn. And they show up really big. There's virtually no other reason to get them than that. I mean, well, you know, and achievements. So now that we've gone through that process, that multi-hour process to achieve a single Resplendent Tool, we still need 4 more, because that is only my 4th one out of 8. But that is where the power of hindsight comes in, because if we talk to my good friend Feo you might see here in my retainers inventory is 1, 2, 3, 4 piles of resplendent materials. That's pretty cool, but you never saw that coming. And so what that means is we can talk to our good friend Limbeth, open the Resplendent Tool Exchange, and let's go ahead and get a Millfiend's Saw. And there's Retooled Resplendent Millfiend's Saw. 10 points. That one looks like this. That's fine, I guess. What about the Hide Fiend's Knife? Yeah, sure, I'll have that. Then there's retooled Resplendent Hide Fiend's Knife. 10 points. This one, it's not like a spatula. Also, these all glow. It's an interesting thing. What about a needle? Say we wanted a needle. Well, we can have one. There's retooled the Resplendent Bolt Fiend's Needle. 10 points. It's got a succubus on it. Why? Just because. Does it look like when you draw it? Well, it glows. So yeah, if you train weaving, you can have waifu stickers on your back. The only way to do it. And how about a fry pan? Bam! And there's retooled Resplendent Galley Fiend's Fry Pan. 10 points. But wait, there is Blameless Tools for 20 points. Could that in fact be? Oh, it could. Obtain a complete set of Resplendent Crafter's Tools. It also comes with the title, The Indefatigable. Let's have a look at our frying pan while we're at it. It's got 20 years. It's a Spriggan. Look at him. I wish the Spriggan face was on the back of the pan so you could see it when it's on your back. But yeah, so that is a pretty massive drop of points. It's something I've been meaning to finish for a long time. Let's throw away this excess. We don't need these. Something I've been meaning to finish for a long time. I just kind of never got around to it, and I've been chugging through these over the past couple weeks, and now we are finally done. So that is just one of many sets of crafting relics, quote-unquote relics. The Resplendent Tools technically are not relics, but they are relic adjacent. I don't really know how else to describe them than that, but it does feel good to finally have those done, especially because that is an item that shows up individually in each of the crafter's achievement tabs, and so that is one less item in each tab. I really, really like to see tabs get emptied out, and I still got a long way to go on most of my crafters, but that is just one step closer to being done. And yeah, finally we have a title to usurp Honest Gillionaire, which I've been using for like a month now, and so there it is. The Indefatigable. Pretty sure the word basically just means that you cannot be fatigued, as every Chad should know. So anyways, that didn't take us very long. What's next? Well, I decided to do some basic maintenance, so we are checking our weeklies and also some dailies. I've been really meaning to get caught back up on these Grand Company turn-ins. It's a daily allowance system for these, and I need to turn in a total of 500 of them, which equals out to around a month if I do them every day. I really meant to finish this grind like 2 years ago. However, I'm lazy. So let's go ahead and see what we are capable of. I'm actually just going to use my same Resplendent macro here, and it should do most of the work for me, albeit a bit inefficiently. Alright, so that's how far we got off of the first stage of the macro. I'm going to go ahead and take over and do this manually from here because my bars are a little bit low. My leatherworker gear is not that good. So we're going to slap one more prudent touch on there. We'll use our good quality for progress. Okay, so my basic blessing is going to do 1,500. It should come up to around 5,000 or 6,000 if I put the maximum buff on it. Yeah, that's right about what we want it to be. Oh, good condition, actually. We're getting carried by condition, so this is the best luck we could possibly get here. There we go. Mind you, these daily turn-ins do not need to be high quality for sake of the achievement. I just usually try to craft high quality if I can. Oh, look at that, we get another intensive synthesis. Yoshi P is on our side for this one. Yeah, we don't even have to struggle for this. This one's just easy. Didn't even use trained perfection. Okay, let's go turn these in. But yeah, since we don't get XP for these anymore, the only incentive to make them high quality is the fact that we get double the Grand Company seals, which I also really don't need for anything specific. It's just kind of nice. It's a good little bonus if you're, using those seals for anything. They're good for a lot of older relics. There's a couple items you can buy with them that are good for converting into cash on the market board. But yeah, otherwise, these dailies are very, very easy to complete on the cheap or on the lazy. It's just one of those things where it's another box to check. It's another chore to tick off on a daily basis. And so lately, I just forget that these exist because I don't need the experience anymore. And so the only incentive for me to do them is that 500 turn-ins achievement. Okay, let's go and have a look at something we haven't had a look at in a really long time. We should go and check in on my island sanctuary. I honestly cannot remember if I set up my robots to do anything, so they might have just been idling this entire time, but now's going to be a perfect opportunity to go and have a look and find out. Please tell me you haven't just been idling. Oh my gosh, she's actually been working. And look at that, no rest cycle for the wicked too. That is 20 points. What did we accomplish there? Oh, we finally got 17,000 calories in a single cycle. Yeah, it looks like we in fact got 19,000 there for whatever I set up last time. I think I went through and like actually did the spreadsheet the last time I was here, but it was like actually months ago, so I really don't remember what it was that was set up. I just remember that I was trying to maximize profits at the time with what I had available. So nothing here is meta. I'm too lazy for that, but I do need to finish this place. It's one of those things that's just kind of always at the back of my mind because there are some relatively long-term achievements tied to the island, and so I need to make a better habit of coming back and checking this place at least weekly because like it's gonna be one of those things that comes back to bite me if I don't do that. Just send these guys somewhere random. I don't really know like where they need to be. So I will say that I know Square said that they're basically done with this content. It was an Endwalker feature and they might do something similar in future, like different developments not attached to this island, but it does feel like kind of a waste if they never update it. I feel like they could just keep growing this in some way or adding on to it, maybe like build a resort off the coast or something, but it's a bit of a shame that it's a piece of content that like once you finish it, you know, get every achievement or finish building everything, there's almost no incentive really to come back here. And so if we get to a point like 3 expansions down the line and it hasn't been updated, you know, since Endwalker, what we end up with is like a very literal content island, and it would be a shame to neglect it. So yeah, I can only hope that someday they expand upon this. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the way the system works, I think there are a lot of good ideas here, and I think that it can still grow and become even more enjoyable. But for now, I need to make an effort just to not forget that it exists every week. So let's go ahead and collect all our stuff. And hopefully I've got enough seeds to replant everything. Oh, it seems we don't. I'll figure that out later. I think I actually hit cap on a majority of the plants that I was growing. You can only hold like 1,000 of each resource. I'll take a closer look at this place soon and actually get it set up and hopefully operating with some level of efficiency. But for now, I just wanted to check in on it because I haven't in a long time. Another thing that's supposed to be weekly that I've been neglecting are custom deliveries. I did actually do my custom deliveries this week. Okay, well, kind of. I guess I did 3 of them and then walked away, but I got Nidawikwi up to the final rank. I just didn't do the quest yet to unlock glam for her, but basically I took the achievement and left. That happened on my stream, but yeah, I'm gonna be going back to her every week for about 25 weeks until I finish the achievement. I'm already several weeks behind because I did not unlock her deliveries right away, and I haven't been keeping up with them consistently every week. Like I said, 25 has been a hectic year for me, and I haven't really been consistent on anything, so yeah, that's pretty fun. Another thing I've been keeping up with, though, of course, are leave quests, and speaking of crafting macros, that is how I've been tackling these. I'm not going to go super deep into it right here and now, but this is just kind of like a general check-in. I've been keeping my leave quest allowances from overcapping as much as possible, and I've just been turning in the culinarian ones, sweet bean juice. I started actually gathering the materials myself and crafting the juice myself so that all of the profits are mine. And so as you can see here, if I turn these in high quality, that's 11,000 gil. It averages out to about 10,000 because you get a different amount every time you turn the quest in, but that's quite a bit of money for each craft. That's a lot of free gil just for cashing in your leave allowances, and by doing the gathering and crafting myself, I'm getting progress toward my my gathering and crafting achievements. The ones where it's, you know, like these guys, gather 5,000 times in Dawntrail zones. And the culinarians also got the synthesize 1,000 times, as well as the high quality ones. So by keeping up with these leave quests and doing the work manually, I'm progressing at least 4 different achievements at any given time. The hardest part now is just kind of remembering to do them, since for leave quest achievements, I've only got the big 3 left, the 5,000 ones, which means I won't actually get any of those achievements until like a minimum of 2 years from now. And since it's so far away, it makes it harder to remember to keep up with it regularly, because I've just been like turning these in every 2 weeks or so, since your allowances cap after about 2.5 weeks. But sometimes I'll forget, and then this will creep awfully close to 100, which is something I've been trying to avoid. But yeah, it's a free million gil every 2 weeks, and a bunch of extra progress on a lot of achievements, so that's pretty fun. But anyway, like I said before, I am kind of racing the clock on this one. This video is running way late, and I need to start putting it together, so I know it's a bit of a sleeper, but it is what it is. Not every week's going to be super exciting, but hopefully next week will be more exciting. We're just working on getting back on track track here. So let's go ahead and tally up everything we've done since the last video, and I'll see you guys soon. Roll that outro. That's going to be all for now. Since last time, I got 12 achievements for a grand total of 135 points. This will put my LoL achievement score up to 19,945 as soon as the site updates. And my server rank at this time is sitting at 86, meaning I've actually gone down slightly from last time. A majority of the progress from this video was done on my Twitch stream, which you should go and follow if you want to watch the grind live. Anyway, I need to get back to failing my macros and getting DDoSed. 1 like equals 1 DDoS. Okay, bye.